Hi, I'm Lulu from Gut Feeling Holistic Health. I wanted to talk a little bit more about this idea of trying less and trusting more as a way to transform how we feel, how we move through life, and how things turn out for us in regards to our goals. I gave the inspirational bit about it on the last video I posted, but we didn't talk much about how you actually do it. How do you make that movement from trying so hard and stressing out about it, probably driving your cortisol and other hormones through the roof, and actually sabotaging your own good intentions. You've got, let's say your goal is coming into a healthy and vibrant weight range. But when we're trying so hard and stressed out so much and doing all these crazy diets, the impact of that actually on a hormonal level may be to drive our weight even higher and to drive us toward eating behaviors that are contributory of excess weight and excess inflammation. It makes it harder to get to our goal because we're trying so hard. Or maybe the goal is restoring gut health and digestive health. Maybe we're suffering from a digestive disorder like IBS, and we're feeling like we're absolutely a captive of the bathroom, or otherwise working on our gut health. And again, we can get caught in that cycle of trying so hard to make positive changes. But paradoxically, the tightness and stress that can come along with that trying derail us in reaching our goals. When we think about the mind-gut connection, we actually benefit from relaxation and ease. It seems like it's psychological or mental, but there's a direct connection then between how the body feels and what the comfort level is with the gut. So a lot of good reasons to cultivate this sense of trust in our bodies. But it doesn't mean that we're just giving up putting forth any effort. Let's not mistake trust our intuition and trust our bodies to mean eat ding-dongs anytime we feel like it. That might just be going on habit, going on craving, and even going on addiction to some extent. So that's not what we're trying for. We want to move from a place of trying really hard to a place of appropriate effort that lets us relax and trust. How do we do it? Well, we have to put the effort in first. So that may mean getting really clear on what the intention is. We might say, oh, I want to lose 5 pounds or 5 kilos. But when we sense in a little more deeply, the real intention is, I want to feel energized. I want to reduce my long-term risk of chronic disease. I want to be able to sleep better. I want to have better sex. All of these things can be part of the real motivator behind wanting to reach that goal. So we need to get clear on that. And then we might need to get some information. There's heaps of information available on the internet, and that's not the kind I'm talking about necessarily. Unless you're an expert in a particular arena, and unless you've already had wild success reaching those health goals, it may be time to get some expert information and assistance that's science-based and that can help you discern between the noise and the trends and what's accurate and evidence-based and applicable to your own physiology and your own lifestyle. So we get the information. That's also related to gathering our allies around us. So whether that's a nutritionist who can guide us with accountability and expertise and encouragement, or whether it's a circle of friends who will be excited when we say, hey, let's have a walking date, instead of let's meet to have pizza and beer. We want to have the right people around us. This can be a stumbling block. This can be tough. The systems that we're already part of may not be supporting our movement toward health and well-being. It may be that we're stuck in a system, maybe a family system, maybe our partner, our kids, our workplaces. All of these systems can be mired in really unhealthy behaviors. And it's not easy to be the one to break out of that system and start doing something new. So gather your allies around you, the ones who are going to be enthusiastic and on board and supporting you in this path. Then we want to develop a strategy. We're not just going to leave it up to guesswork. Oh, I know XYZ foods are hard for me to digest and really make my gut act up and lead to more inflammation, lead to more leaky gut, lead to more bathroom visits. I know all that, but I'm just going to hope that the dinner party I'm going to offers something that's easier for me to digest. And if not, I'll just have whatever's on offer, even if it's not the right choice for me. Sound familiar? We've all been there. We've all been there, making ourselves and our needs a real priority and coming up with a clear strategy to say, I'm going to plan ahead for this. I'm going to come up with concrete action steps that will move me toward that goal. I'm going to bring my own food with me to the dinner party. I've done that. I'm going to call ahead and make sure that the host has something that's appropriate for me, or I'll offer to bring something. There's workarounds on all of these, but they take strategy and they take commitment. So, that's kind of the last piece of this trying, is to really make that commitment to yourself and to say, I'm worth it. I want to feel great. I want to be in that healthy, high energy weight range. I want to be have ease with my digestive system and know that my body's running at 100%. I am all in on that. So I have to make that commitment, and that takes effort. It's harder to do that than it is to just lay on the sofa gobbling chips and crisps. So that's the part where we try. That's appropriate effort. And then the trusting part means that we let go of some of that. We let all that do its work, and then we also invite this attitude of relaxation and ease and confidence. Trust is a really strong word when you look at the dictionary definition. It's all about having confidence in the level of care and the level of strength that is being offered. So it's not a wishy-washy soft word. There's a lot of strength there because we've done all that work. We put forth the appropriate effort. And so now we can just kick back and be confident and trust it to unfold. It takes time. We're not going to turn around a toxic digestive system overnight. Rebalancing the microbiota, developing different stress management strategies, doing the experimental work to find out what works for my body and what doesn't, and how much of it with different foods or supplements. This takes time. Likewise, learning to trust ourselves takes time. I might be on that journey toward my own high energy weight range, and then I totally derail with a carton of ice cream. No big deal, right? We just keep going the next day. We keep putting the effort in the next day, but knowing that it's going to be it's a process to move us toward those goals. It's not an overnight thing. So we slow down. We learn to listen to our body. So many of our common, regular behaviors, so many of our habits take us away from the body and from listening with deep and caring attention to the wisdom of this body. So whether it's just that kind of frantic eating to stuff down our emotions, or whether it's lighting that pipe as soon as we walk in the door after work because we're so uncomfortable and tense after a day at work that all we can do is get high to try to relax and not feel it, to the pint of ice cream, after the breakup or after the fight with our sweetie. Like, all of these are ways that we're just distancing ourselves from listening to our bodies, because the body might say, I'm in pain. I hurt. There's tension and tightness and sadness here. And so it takes a lot of courage to be willing to listen to that. I think more than anything, what we do to escape listening to the wisdom of the body is just keep it separated and just think, keep it all up here so we don't have to sink down and hear what the body has to say. But this process of coming to trust ourselves means that we have to learn to listen to our bodies and to honor what our bodies say. We're not just listening and going, oh, I know that that person makes you feel really tense and miserable and unhappy, but I'm going to make you sign up for a whole weekend away with them anyway. Wait, we listen, we go, oh, okay, I feel the tension, I feel the uneasiness, I feel that this is maybe a toxic person in my life. So I'm going to listen to that and honor it and do something about it and maybe spend less time with them, not a whole weekend. Lots of examples of what that can look like. So it's the learning to listen and learning to honor what our body is telling us. We can do that with practicing different mindfulness techniques, whether that is a formal meditation practice on the cushion, super stabilizing and supportive, and I take deep solace in my meditation practice. But for some of us, it may mean something different. It might mean mindful movement, Tai Chi or yoga, or just going for a walk with no distractions, but just being fully present for the walk and for whatever's arising within us. And for some of us, it might mean a formal mindful eating practice where we're slowing down and noticing, how do I feel before eating, as I'm eating? What does this food taste like? What is the aroma of the food? How do I feel as the meal progresses? Am I still hungry or not? If I'm not, will I honor that and stop eating? Or am I going to keep eating anyway? Maybe I'm going to keep eating anyway for all of the reasons, whatever they are. And that's where we need to bring in just a huge amount of self-compassion and tenderness and gentleness. Again, this stuff doesn't change overnight. These ways we have of checking out and not trusting ourselves and not honoring ourselves doesn't change overnight. So we bring the intention to learn and to do things differently, and we bring the intention every single day. And we bring the intention even in the moment where we're binge eating anyway. Can we turn right in that spot and say to ourselves, oh, I love you. Yeah, it's really hard to do something different. And I trust you. I trust that we're going to be able to make these changes and move toward health and move toward clarity. And right now in this moment, maybe we're not feeling like that's where we are. And that's okay. It's okay. So bringing that compassion and gentleness and friendliness to ourselves, just like we would to somebody we loved, I think those are the shifts in our heart's attitude that we bring as we're cultivating this trust in our bodies, in ourselves and our own wisdom, trust in this process that we're on toward healing, toward recovery, toward goals like weight loss or gut health. There's nothing wrong with those goals, and we can trust that we're moving toward them and that the outcome is good and that the path is good. That's how I do it. That's what my thoughts are about how we actually learn to try less and trust more. Really love to hear from any of you about which parts of this kind of movement have worked for you. What do you do to be trying appropriately? How do you learn to cultivate more trust in yourself? Real trust. Please leave a comment in the section below. And I'm wishing you all a lot of health and a lot of ease and a lot of transformation. Thank you.